Okay, so I'm going to show you landing pages and opt-in forms now. You've probably heard of the terms before, but I'll explain what I mean with each one of them. Landing pages and opt-in forms are what we use to collect our email subscribers' contact details. So typically it's like their first name and their email address is what you would collect. Now, an opt-in form from a ConvertKit perspective is a simple form that you would embed typically on your website. So let me show you some examples. This is from my website, and this is a typical example of an opt-in form. So this bit down the bottom here, it says first name, email address, and then get lesson number 1 now is actually taken straight from ConvertKit. So that's ConvertKit code that's embedded in a web page on my website. Okay, so that's an opt-in form. Conversely, if you use a landing page, this is an example of a landing page. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what's on here. It's just the fact that in isolation is a standalone page that has some details about the thing that I'm promoting or giving away, and it's also got included on the page an opt-in form. Okay, so an opt-in form is like a sub section of a landing page. The main difference between one and the other is that a landing page in this scenario, what I'm explaining to you here, is actually hosted by ConvertKit. So you don't actually need a website to have a landing page. You can host your landing page on ConvertKit. Okay. So that's the main difference between the two. So let's get in and have a look, see how we create them. So under the Grow menu at the top here, we go down to landing pages and forms. Okay. And then you can see we've got a red button here that says create new, and I click that, and it gives us two options. So on the left hand side, this is the form, so this is the opt-in form, this is this bit here, okay, just the text boxes and the button. And on the right hand side is the landing page, like this. Okay, so let's start with the opt-in form. If I click on that, it gives me 4 types of opt-in form that I can create. Okay, I got inline, which is that there, so it's inline, it's part of my web page and it's inline. I've got modal, which means it pops up in front of the web page, and you need to do something in order to remove that. You either need to click the X to close it or submit your details to close it. Slide in, self-explanatory, slides in at the bottom of your page or the top of your page, wherever you want to slide it in. And then the sticky bar, again, it's another option if you want to stick it at the top of your website or the bottom. You can do that as well. So the option, I'm going to pick the inline option here. It's the most commonly used one. And then you've got a few templates that you can choose from. I always take this one in the middle at the top here, it's called clear, because it's got the fewest number of assets on the page. It's just a clean page, there's nothing there. So I'm going to click on that. And you can see by default it's got the email address now. Every single form and page you create has to have an email address that's non-negotiable when it comes to email marketing. But you can, and I recommend you do, add on another data collection element. So by clicking on this little plus sign here, I can go across here and I can choose to add first name. Okay, I actually like the first name to be first. And then you can change like the look and the feel of the button and change the word on it if you want. So let's say it was giving away something. Let's say download free guide. Let's say you can change that to whatever you want, and you can also like change the radius of the button if you want a bit round, like a round one. And then this built with ConvertKit badge, you can choose to either leave that on, or if you deselect that, it'll disappear. You don't actually see that greyed out text on your page. What you see is this here. You see nothing on it. So and it's as simple as that. I don't add anything. If I'm going to add this to my website, I don't add any other elements on the page at this point. What I always do is I rename it up here and call it something memorable. So let's say free guide download That'll do for just now. So when you've got a list of opt-in forms, you can tell which one's which just by the description or by the name of it. Now we get into the actual configuration, the settings of the form and how it behaves. And how we do that is up here under the settings tab. So if I click on that, I'll walk you through this menu down the left hand side here. So starting with the top one, general, we've got the option of showing a success message. So that means that when someone submits the form, it pops this message on the screen. Okay, this is the default message you get from ConvertKit. You can change that to anything you want. You can get in there and type and make that whatever you want. Alternatively, you can actually direct it to a page, and this is what I tend to do. I'll redirect them to an external page. External as in it's not part of ConvertKit, it's part of my website. And let's say it's it could be any one of these. Let's say, for example, that one. I'll just take a copy of that just to show you what that page looks like. If I open up in a browser window and I paste that in, you'll see that it's just a standard page. Congrats and thanks for being here. Okay, so it can be anything you want. Either the standard success message is the simplest option, or if you really want another page, you can put in a redirect in there. I'll just leave it as a success message at the moment. We then get into domain name. Now this is less relevant for an opt-in form. It becomes more relevant with a landing page. So I'll leave this until we go through and look at the landing page and explain more in detail then. Incentive is ConvertKit's terms. They use incentive. It's really like a confirmation email. So if I click on this edit email details, I can see that it's got a standard it's got a standard layout for the confirmation email. You can change that to be whatever you want. What I tend to do when I'm creating a landing page, when I'm creating an incentive email, is I will make it look and feel the way the web page or the landing page looked for the subscriber, so that it makes relevant. It makes sense, and when they open up the email to confirm it, say, oh yeah, I remember that was that thing I subscribed to. So again, just like the the other text that you could change inside that success message, you can change the text in here. You would probably do something again to actually make the button make sense. As I say, what I tend to do is I'll put an image in here that also reminds someone of the thing that they signed up for. So if I go down here and say image, choose an image, just pick the first one randomly. Can change the size of that image, but let's say it was to do with this thing here. Like I say, it gives a pictorial reminder to the subscriber, say, oh yeah, that was that thing that I subscribed to. Because you remember, when someone subscribes to your email list, they may, even though the confirmation email will be sent immediately by ConvertKit, they might not read that email till later that day, or even maybe the next day or a couple of days later. So when they're going to read that confirmation email, it's good to put in a visual reminder of what the thing was that they asked for. Okay. And then obviously just have your own sign off, however you want to, sign it off, and then just click the save. I tend to also change this up here. I'll say something like, please confirm your email address to download your free guide, something like that. So it makes sense in their inbox. Happy with that, you click save, and then the next bit down here there's a checkbox and says auto confirm new subscribers. Now, I don't recommend that anybody ever ticks that box, and it's down to a thing called the opt-in policy. Now, you may have heard of this, but there's a single opt-in policy and a double opt-in policy that you can apply to your email marketing. A single opt-in policy is literally someone clicks a button, puts their email address in, clicks a button, and that's them, they're confirmed. Now, there's a number of problems with that in my mind, but a double opt, I'll explain what a double opt-in is. A double opt-in is what we're going through at the moment. Someone clicks on an opt-in form or a landing page, submits their details, they then get a confirmation email and asks them to click on the button to confirm it. So that's twice we're asking them to confirm. So that's a double opt-in. Now, if you don't apply a double opt-in, you're leaving yourself exposed to a couple of things. One is literally anybody can submit an email address, whether they own it or not, and they would add that person to your email list. So you could potentially end up with people on your email list who actually don't even know they're on your list. The other problem, and it's probably more prevalent, is you're leaving yourself exposed to the bots online. So if a bot detects a single opt-in form, it could potentially just keep pushing either real or fictitious, and probably a combination of both, email addresses into your email list. And if you're auto-confirming them at the back end in your email list, then you're potentially going to end up with a long list of subscribers who don't actually either exist or know that they're on your email list, and that doesn't lend itself to good deliverability rates moving forward, because these email addresses will probably bounce. People will wonder why they're on it, they'll unsubscribe, etc., etc. So you don't want to do that. You want to employ a double opt-in policy, and that keeps you protected from what I've just explained. And it also means that it's only people who are genuinely interested in joining your list who will actually be on your list, and they're much more likely to become good subscribers and potentially customers further down the line. So that's what auto-confirm means. The last bit on this one is after confirming, so ConvertKit at this point is asking us, what do you want me to do? After they've pressed the confirm button inside, so this one here, after they press this button inside this email, what do you want me to do? And they've got two options. You can either direct them to a URL, so you can take them to a landing page or a Google Doc document, or you can take them to any URL basically that you want to. Or alternatively, if you're giving away, let's say, a downloadable asset, you can click the download button, choose the file you want to upload. Let's say it's a PDF. You would choose the PDF, upload it, and then ConvertKit will deliver that PDF or that downloadable asset to the subscriber without you actually having to do anything. Okay, so that's the two options there. This is the default. This is the default message that you get with ConvertKit. Again, I don't use that. I tend to use, if I'm sending someone to a URL, I'll send it to one of my pages on my website. Okay. The advanced tab I'm going to ignore for the moment, but it's around behaviour for people who have already joined your list and how you want to treat them and stuff. So we can ignore that one for now. Once we're happy with that, click save button and we're good to go. We're now we're now able to take this form and place it on our website, just like I've done with this one here. And the way we do that is we go up to the top corner, click save, and then we click publish. Now, under the publish option, we've got a number of things we can do. The first one is JavaScript. If you don't know anything about this, don't worry about it. If you don't deal with your website and you've got a tech person who looks after it for you, all you need to do is literally click that copy button there, send it to your tech person and say, can you put this on my web page? And they'll just paste that in. HTML works in exactly the same way, but it's just a bit more long-winded with the content that's in there. There is a benefit of one over the other, and I'll without getting too technical, I'll briefly explain it. If you take the JavaScript option and put it into your website, then any changes you make to your form inside ConvertKit will automatically be reflected on your website. Whereas if you take the HTML one, what you're doing is you're taking almost like a snapshot in time. So you're taking what the form looks like just now, put it on your website, and if you update it at any point in the future, you need to go back and update the HTML. Okay, so it's really a personal preference. Share is literally just a URL. So if I copy that URL and put it into a browser window, if I just do that, you'll see the form pop up and nothing else. It's literally just a way of sharing it. WordPress, if you've got a WordPress website, you can integrate it using the WordPress plugin, and rather than having this code, you would have it linked through this unique ID. And that's the option that I personally use. And then Unbounce is just a similar, it's something called a webhook, which again I won't get too technical on it. So there's plenty of options there. Decide which one works best for you, and then implement it. And that's how we, that's how we publish the form. So all I would do is in this one here, all I would do is I would get into ConvertKit. I would get into I actually get through WordPress. So I would be taking this option, and I would be making that option appear on my website. So when anyone fills their details in, first name and email address, and clicks that button, it then gets submitted into ConvertKit, and they arrive as a subscriber on my email list. Okay, so that's probably a lot to take in, what I've just explained to you. So go back and watch it again if it wasn't quite clear. But now I'm going to walk through and show you how to create a landing page. And to be honest, all the settings except for one is the same for a landing page as it is for an opt-in form. So I'm now going to go back to landing pages and forms. I'm going to say create new, and this time I'm going to select landing page. So a bit like the opt-in form, I get templates. This time it does make more sense to pick a template that that kind of resonates with what you want to do. No matter which one you pick, you can then further edit it to make it look and feel more like your branding. So don't worry about the colours and stuff like that. You can change all that once you're in there. So I'm just going to pick a simple one. Let's say this one here. Choose that. I want to make a landing page based on that. So ConvertKit goes and creates basically a blank template. I'm able to change anything on it. So you can see this got a logo here. I can replace that if I want to. Let's say I want to put my face on it. I could change it to that. In here, I can retype. I can make this say whatever I want. Download your free email marketing guide. Change the text in there. In here, I've got these forms. The ones that I don't want, I can get rid of. Just by clicking in here and getting saying delete. So I'm going to delete this one because I only ever collect two bits of information to start with. I do collect more information further down the line, but to start with, I just collect first name and email address. I can also, over here, if you look at this little plus sign, I can add other elements in. So down here you can see I can add files, different types of text, images, kind of text decoration, and I can even add in videos and stuff like that if I want to make the page look and feel the way I want it to look. Let's say it was a Christmassy one, I might want to stick something like that in. You get the gist. You can make the page look however you want it to look, so that it matches your look and feel. You can also actually change the fonts. So let's say I wanted to go with Verdana, and then enter. So you can see the font changing on the page, and then the background color I can change that too if I want to. I could say let's make it red or green or whatever. So you can make it look and feel however you want. Once you're happy with that, again, you can remove the badge if you want, the Built with ConvertKit badge. Once you're happy with your landing page and how it looks, again, I would always rename it so it's something meaningful. Download free email marketing guide. Let's see. And then we go back into settings. Now, the settings down here are exactly the same as I showed you on the opt-in form. But remember I spoke about the domain name being slightly different. So in this instance with a landing page, you want to share the URL with people so that they can visit the landing page and submit their details. Whereas that's not the case with the opt-in forms, because people are going to go to the web page that the opt-in form is on. For the domain name, you can select a custom domain. Now, if you have a custom domain associated with the ConvertKit account, it means like a domain you have purchased. Okay, so mine is provenflows.com. In this demo account, I've actually got one called madereallysimple.com. And that's why it's shown up here. So if I want to use that, I just select that, and then I put in here a suffix after it. So let's say free guide, let's call it, and I can add that. Okay, now down here you can see this is now the URL that's been published by ConvertKit that I can then copy and send people to. So I can say to people, oh, by the way, if you want to download the email marketing guide, here's the URL, and I would send that to them. That then would take them to this page. They would fill in their details, and they would get the email marketing guide. All the other attributes and properties in here are exactly the same as I described in here previously with the opt-in form. Again, like SEO and analytics is not applicable to an opt-in form, but it is to a landing page. So if you want to go a bit deeper into search engine optimization and connecting Google Analytics and all that kind of stuff, you can do that too, but it's a bit more advanced, and you certainly don't need to do it. Okay, so we're going to leave it nice and simple. We've added in word domain. I'm going to show you how that looks when I click save here. I'm actually going to take a copy of that because it doesn't actually update immediately. It sometimes takes 2 or 3 minutes to update. So I'm going to click save, and we're now in a position where we've got our landing page and we can share it with people. So we're going to click save and then publish, and now you can see down here it's actually created another URL. Okay, so I'm going to paste in the first one, and you might see it doesn't show in to start with. Well, it has, so it's uploaded already. It's updated already, so that's fine. So that's the one that we created. Internally, ConvertKit also create this one for you, and you can use this if you want to as well. If I create another browser window here and click that, you'll see it takes me to exactly the same page. So whether you want to have your own domain like this one here, madereallysimple.com in it, or if you just want to use ConvertKit's standard .ck.page and then a whole bunch of numbers, you can do that. You can do that too if you want. And that's it. That's all you need to do to publish your page and to get people to sign up to it. And when people arrive on this page, they put their first name, their email address, and click subscribe or download or whatever. Exactly the same thing happens. They'll be taken to a confirmation page, and then ConvertKit will then serve up the thing that you're giving away, your PDF or whatever it is. So log into ConvertKit, have a play around. You can't do anything, can't break anything. Just create a landing page, create an opt-in form, get familiar with the settings, and you'll have your first one up running in no time.